Hey, welcome to the channel. If you're new to it or you haven't already, thumbs up and subscribe. All about blues harmonica. Today I'm going to talk to you. This is kind of a lesson for people starting out, or people who've been playing probably a year or two. Maybe you've got the odd bend or two that you can get, maybe you haven't. But this is kind of just a systematic approach to playing. It's a little bit boring, okay, it's not the flavour of the month, this sort of thing, but essential to becoming a very good player. So you try and incorporate this sort of thing. Okay, so just listen to this. Or this. Or this. Alright, I'm just moving them through keys. Major scale. I don't see too much of it on the internet when they talk about major scale. They just play like, they tend to show you like this. Okay, that's in first position. Anything else other than first on this is a challenge, of course. But when you finish on 7 blow, going blow, draw, blow, draw, blow, draw, draw, blow, finish on 7 blow. If you do that scale, take it up to the 8 draw and back to the 7. Take it over the mountain and back down. And you should always approach your scales like that. Okay? Now, on this little instrument, it's quite a challenge for people in the first couple of years to get around it. There's a few notes that are quite, well, as I said, challenging, but you'll get there. It's not rocket science, but if you get with the right people, it's quite systematic, and it's just an approach that you've got to get round. Okay? But that's what I would do with the major scale. Now, with your major scale, here's the major tip. Okay, harpothehealer way. You want to learn these major scales. They're pretty boring, and you've got to apply them into tunes, but it's essential for improvisation, of course. So what I would suggest is just to learn the first 5 notes of a major scale, because inadvertently you're learning all the 12 scales. Because if you dig out a circle of fifths, if you haven't learned it, learn one in your head. Because if you go from C, G, D, A, E, if you go around that way, C to G, G to D, if you play C, D, E, F, G on your harmonica, well, the top half of that scale, starting on G, is the first part of where the G is. G, A, B, C, D. Excuse me, G, A, B, C. We'd stop there on the C. And the same, after you've played the first part of the G scale, the top half of it is the first part of D, and so on. Okay? So it's a little bit of psychology in your head now, that if you're practicing the first 4 notes, you're practicing it through. Yeah, you learn to practice these through, but on this harmonica, on these little diatomics, they can be a little bit challenging. As advanced players, we do it all the time, but it takes a while, and you'll want to be off and running and playing lots of great things long before then, I'm sure. So what I would do is employ that idea. And for now, I'd work in your second position, which most of you'll know, first position and third position, and then apply it to 4th, 5th, 12th, and possibly 11th. The others aren't as necessary. You can just use another couple of hearts for that, although it is nice to work through those other ones. They tend to be more of a challenge. It's just getting over the bridge of some of the notes. It's not rocket science, it's just a little bit of exercise in certain areas and without out of the box harmonica, you should be okay as long as you get a fairly good one that's airtight. You should be fine with it. No need to spend lots of money on customization at this stage. In fact, I don't think they need to at all, because en route you will learn how to do things as you move along a line. There's no point getting something. It's like no point driving a Ferrari when you're only used to driving a small rally car or something like that. Okay, and often this is the case, and it doesn't really benefit the player. So that would be Harpo the Healer's advice. You can get me for lessons on Harpo the Healer Wix, and check out my rest of the site and everything, and also check out my pods that are out good, my podcast. You might get some useful information on there. Alright, keep harping. I'll catch you on the rebound.